Okay, now relax your jaw and sing ah. Nope, relax the jaw. On an earlier video I posted on my channel, my YouTube channel, I made the comparison of training your brain to sing is like training a dog. Well, Sally here nicely agreed to appear in this video to give that metaphor a visual effect. She actually didn't agree to appear. I had to bribe her with a little piece of turkey. Remember that? My point being, that's exactly how we go wrong training our voices. We break down too easily and resort to the shortcut that we know will work. So it creates a lot of confusion in the brain or in the dog as to what it can get away with. Right? Remember that turkey? Anyway. Okay, so take something very typical. Jaw tension. It's probably one thing all voice teachers agree is bad for the voice. A released jaw is always a better place to sing from. So when you're trying to get your jaw to relax, that's okay, thank you, Sally. When you're trying to get your jaw to relax, it's very easy to start compromising once you get distracted by maybe your voice sounding bad, or once you get distracted by the desire, or the jaw itself seems like it has a mind of its own and just comes up on its own. So if you can just relax the jaw and ask it, just like you would ask a dog to sit, you're going to have to be really consistent with that message and very patient with it. It has to be a single focus. So as you come down, as your jaw comes down, that's all really easy to do when you're not singing. I just let it hang and then add singing to that environment. Ah, easy enough there where you're comfortable singing. Ah, as you start singing higher, if you look in a mirror, you'll notice, ah, up comes the jaw, clenching. No different than when a dog knows it can get away with something. It's going to stand when you want it to sit. It's going to spin around when you want it to be still. It's going to tug at the leash when you don't want it to. Right when you're at your most vulnerable, that's when the dog will challenge you, and that's when we tend to bend. So instead of continuously asking the jaw to stay relaxed, we tend to then start to layer, if you will, on top of that behavior, more bad behaviors of compensating more air pressure. Ah! Then we don't like our tone, so we push a little bit more, and you could just see how the whole thing gets to be very layered and very confusing to your brain. I, in this case, or the dog trainer, represents your mind, what your intention is. And if you ever watch those shows like Dog Whisperer or whatever, you always you notice that it's not the dog that's really getting the training, it's the owner. And so the owner has to be constantly reminded that there needs to be a single message, that it needs to be presented consistently. When you want the dog to stop, you need to stop. And so what I'm saying to do with your voice is to be really consistent. The voice itself, when we say that word, the voice, it's actually many, many components, of course. There's breathing components, there's vibrating components, there's resonating components. So pick one thing when you vocalize, when you exercise your voice, like jaw. Keeping the jaw relaxed can be a single focus and a really useful ability once you gain control. Whereas you ask it to relax, and it does. You can add things on top of that with a lot of confidence. Without that jaw staying relaxed when you're singing high notes, it's anyone's guess what the reaction will be going through your passaggio, what the reaction will be with longevity. All kinds of issues come up. Usually the jaw is to blame because as we're practicing, we allow it to tense. So with your jaw just hanging there, I don't care if there's drool coming out of your mouth because you had it open so long, just like a dog. You want to continuously ask your jaw just to stay gravity fed, just relax. You don't have to push it down. And you want to continually ask for more and more of your range to be included without interfering with that jaw position, just open and relaxed. So if you want your voice to obey, just like those incredible pooches at the Westminster Dog Show, you have to train your own mind to be very simple, clear, and concise with the commands that you're rolling. Start with simple ones like relax the jaw, like an easy onset with the breath. Start with that and make sure those are in place before you add more and more commands on top. I'm Mark Baxter, wishing you a lot of luck training that voice for Lesson.com. You don't feel like singing?